Day, which feels like a Monday because, of course, it's the day after a public holiday here in the land of Victoria. It is very strange, let me let me tell you. Really happy to be here with you this morning, and it's very cold, and it's very cold, but at least it's sunny. So what I wanted to talk with you about today is about something that I get a lot of pushback on. Actually, hey Carmen, I get a fair bit of pushback when I'm talking to people about the types of content that they should perhaps share. Now, it's not always it's not bad pushback, but it's like, but why do I have to do this? The pushback comes around when I start talking about the importance of sharing some of the behind the scenes stuff about what it is that is important to you, what's going on in your life and in your world, and people are like, but why should I have to do that? And I guess the thing for me, and it's always surprising, it always surprises me, the interaction that I get when I share stuff that is not necessarily about business, right? It might be, well, it's my son's birthday today. My little baby, my baby is 12, and it's their first day back of school, and I'm quite emotional today. It's really, really weird. And I shared earlier this morning that it's his birthday, and there's been a ton of interaction and a bunch of comments, and it's really lovely. And it always pleasantly surprises me how you guys just kind of like really love seeing and share the love with seeing behind the scenes. So whether it's me out on the weekend with Esri, my 13-year-old, I was going to say 12, she's 13, nearly 14-year-old. She's now my official PP, she was telling me the other day. She's like, I'm your official PP mum, your official personal photographer. And I was like, okay, cool, yep. I'm down with that. She's really into photography. And the interaction was really cool on that post. And, you know, it reminds me of when I used to share morning walk photos. And if we didn't share a morning walk photo, I would get messages from people asking if we were okay. And I guess if we think about it, the part of the reason behind all of this, my thinking is that it gives you guys a bit of an insight into what my values are, right? My values are very obviously family, health, really making sure that we've got that connection, be it building relationships and things like that, right? Living our best life is what I advocate for, is what I want you guys to be able to build and create, so that you've got choice and freedom to spend time with the people that you love and the people who are important to you, and doing the things, the activities and things like that are really important to you. And I guess that the best way that I can demonstrate to you, rather than lecturing to you, my top value is family, and this is what's really important, and I really value choice and freedom and making a buttload of money and helping a ton of people. It's like, it's not only the business side of things that I'm passionate about, right? So what it gives you by sharing the personal stuff that may or may not relate necessarily to business, it gives you an idea of who I am behind I was going to say facade. No, it's not a facade that I share with you guys, but there's certainly, like, if I was only ever talking about marketing and business and creating content, and this is how you do this and this is how you do that, it gives you a very one-dimensional view of me, right? Hey, Linda, good morning. So for me, one of the things that I use as a tool to help you get to know me is sharing insights into my life, into my world, the things that I do. And what that does to me is it shares some of my psychology, I guess, around how I've built my success, but also making sure, like, I'm very pro hustle, but not 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, because I've got a family to raise and kids to take care of and all of that kind of thing. So I think the thing that's really important to remember is that your audience, they're let me rephrase this. If you think about all of the people in your industry, there are a ton of people selling doTERRA. There are a ton of people selling coaching. There are a ton of people selling books. There are a ton of people selling business coaching. There is a ton of people selling health coaching. There is a slew of people selling all of the things in your industry, right? And what makes you so freaking different? Why would somebody choose you over somebody else? And you don't want to get into a price war, right? Because price war is shit. If somebody's comparing like a course of mine or a consulting of mine or training or mentoring or coaching of mine compared to somebody else based only on price, then I feel like I haven't actually done my job properly. I want you guys to want to work with me because you feel like it's a hell yes, that it's a God, Nicola, like I'm so excited to work with you. I know that you can really help me and I don't know how you're going to do that, but I'm all in. Yes, let's do it. Right? And I want your people to feel the same with you. I want them to know that when they hop on the phone with you, kind of what they're going to get. That you're going to be able to relate to them and what their life is like and the juggles that they've got in their world. I drop my kids off sometimes and I pick my kids up from school sometimes when my husband's not in Corona time. He is getting the kids to and from school today, just to be clear. So I guess it's like that. Like most of the time, I'm the one that does the school run. I've got these juggles and things that I've got to deal with in my world. So you know what? If I can build a $500,000 a year business or $1 million a year business, still dropping it off and picking up my kids from school, still being me, still swearing on the internet, still empowering you, encouraging, motivating, inspiring you in the way that I do it, then you can hit whatever goals you want to make, right? I do not have this business was not built on with a silver spoon. Like I had to fight tooth and nail to get every dollar that was made in this business. We did not have money sitting in the bank. I did not have an angel investor. We didn't have benefactors. Like I had nothing. I had to build everything up. From claiming as much as I could at the time on family allowance and support from the government, with building up and making sales at for my $10 jewelry business that I created, doing everything that I could to get this business working and going. I had my finger in every pie. Right? There was no option but for this to make money. My husband was getting paid, I think back then, he was only being paid like maybe 50 grand a year. And I left my corporate job, which was 6 figures by the time you allowed for bonuses and all the things that kind of kicked in. So like our household income dropped down by 2/3. So I had no choice but to make this business work. And my kids were little at the time. Right? And so I think the thing that I really wanted to always demonstrate is that if I could do this on a shoestring budget, or like a zero budget, really, in reality, do it on a zero budget with very limited time. My husband was not home for essentially 6 months of the year. If I could do this, if I could build up this business under those conditions, then and demonstrate that to you, still having a family life, still developing these connections with the kids, then you can do it as well. So a big part of what I think is really important to share is your history, your story, how you've come up, how you've done what you've done, and helping people to see behind that facade that we all like to portray that, what, I've got this, I've got all my shit together and this, that, and the other, right? But I know some people will buy from me because I'm a mother. And I know that some people will buy from me because I live in the middle of nowhere. I know some people will buy from me because of the way I speak. I know that some people will buy from me because of my experience, having a decade in this business, doing what I do. I know that that's a really big thing. But all of those things on their own aren't the thing that gets people over the line, right? It's the combination of everything that you're doing that gets people over the line. So the thing that you want to think about, if you've got like an 80-20 split, right? Think about an 80-20 split. 80% of the content that you create and that you put up should be something to do with business, educational, motivational, inspirational, to do with what you do and what you're selling, right? 20% make it personal, right? Share the stuff that you like, the things that you do to get over overwhelm, for instance, or the things that you might do to stay proactive, the things that you might do to stay productive, the things that you do to get yourself out of stress, or the things that you do to help increase and maintain that sense of motivation and excitement about what it is that you're doing. And that then further goes to help people get to know you and feel like they can understand you, feel like they can trust you. You become a real human, right? You're not just some one-dimensional logo figurehead on the internet like everybody else out there. You actually become a person to them. And it's when you become a person to them, that's when you start to become likable. That's when you start to, for them, you start to seem a lot more real, right? Not just some figurehead, not just some cardboard cutout that happens to have a voice coming out of their face. So when you do that, that's when people get to know you and they start to feel like they can trust you, and that's when they buy. So if you are not doing that, then you've got to work a hell of a lot harder with your business content to try and get people over the line. So think about the 80-20 split, and trust me, it is it amuses me, because I'm like, I can't believe that this particular post, makes people, watch, look, comment, engage, help them to feel like they get to know me. I mentioned one client of mine, Kellyanne, who she actually shared with me a couple of weeks ago. I might have told you about this. Shared with me a couple of weeks ago that one of the reasons that she bought from me was because of the morning walks that I used to do with my family and put photos up in the mornings. My husband and I, Dominic, we now work out in the morning, so we don't go for the walk. We want to make sure we're getting that in there. It is just so funny. Carmen said scones. Yeah, you put up. Carmen shared some stuff earlier on in the Corona time about food, right? About the scones, and about, I think it was like what to have on scones, and all of your comments just blew up. If you think about it, if you can help people get to know you with not business stuff, it's almost like a little bit disarming, right? So it can disarm people, and it just sort of like, oh, like this person isn't fucking selling all the time. Like, how refreshing, how nice, how odd for somebody on the internet who wants to make money to not only always be talking about what they're selling and pitching all the time, right? It's quite refreshing. And so if you're able to do that, and you're able to share a bit behind that, then you'll see that you get a bit more comment and perhaps visible engagement on those style of posts, which actually helps you to raise the profile of the other stuff that you're doing as well. So it's not just I don't care about the visible engagement. I like it, but from a measurability perspective, it doesn't really matter. But what it does is it helps to build relationships with people, right? If you're wanting to get to know someone, you ask different questions, you find out about their life, you find out about their family, you find out about their hobbies, you find out about the things that what they like to cook and eat, and restaurants that they like to attend, and all of this different type of thing. It's about getting a really robust view, and that is what's going to set you apart from everybody else. So your mission today is to share something that is not business related on your page and just see what happens. It could be your favorite food. It could be something about your kids. It could be an insight into Corona time, about your mindset. It could be anything. But get out there and do it and see what happens. Maybe when you go for a walk, share a photo of that. All right. I'm going to love you and leave you. Have a fantastic, awesome, and amazing day. I hope you stay warm. It is freaking freezing here, but the sun is out, so I guess we are somewhat blessed. Have a great day. Get out there, go help some people, have a whole ton of fun doing it, and remember, the world is ready for your brand of awesomeness. I will see you tomorrow. Bye.